Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got from bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Right.
And everything, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one I don't know.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome, fellas, and welcome to All In, All United. Phil, let go now, boy. I guess
Hey, boy.
I guess
Nah, man.
Phil might get that one. Yeah,
Nah, man, Phil. Right
Anyway,
back to it.
Yeah, anyway, Phil, JP, Simeon, and Kristen. Kristen, we haven't had you on the pod for a while, buddy. So welcome. We're here again, fellas. We're here again. I believe is 6 years that All In All United has been in existence. 6 years, all right. And with that, every year we just come here and we just start, with hope, sometimes cautious optimism. And well, Simeon, we have the pessimist on the panel, right? And we glad for that because sometimes he's got to keep you in check, especially me, And when we hear, we just always have questions as to why we taking years to address, like problem areas on the pitch now, I remember how long we take to address that right wing position. And I think we finally have that particular area sorted. We have Bumo and we have Ahmad. All right. How much years now, fellas, we crying out for a better engine? Well, let me see if 2025, 2026, we'll see that issue solved, Anyway, so we're doing two main segments today. That is what again that kind of feedback from. All I hear, that's why I alone hear that. So what are we doing? Two segments this evening, right? We're doing a season preview, right? And we'll do some little predictions and stuff like that. And then we go preview we first fixture versus Arsenal, right? But before we do that, the normal pleasantries, how will we do, fellas? And then we will get into the mix. Phil, what we saying? How we doing?
Yeah, I am always good. I come to give my expertise on the game of football tonight. So let us begin. We saw that a couple of teams put some goals past other teams on Friday and today. And you got to wonder if Manchester United will ever get to that level again. Only God knows, right? So, but yeah, let me go.
I have one question for you, Phil. That 246, that had anything to do with Squid Games?
Nah, that's the era code of Barbados, big man.
Okay, all right. JP, what are you saying?
I cool, man. Just looking forward to tomorrow. Let me see what these fellas bring in, what kind of season we in for. Because I see what City do today, and it's I don't want it to be that kind of season. And I don't want it to be that kind of season. I want to be able to watch Manchester United and feel good. So I just waited to see what tomorrow brings.
Yeah. Kristen, it's been some time, but glad to have you on. What are we saying?
Good night, fellas. Now, well, I'm excited for the new season. I mean, 15th place last season. I don't think we could do worse than that. So hoping for the best. Excited.
Yeah, man. Simeon, what are we saying?
I good. I mean, I just, thinking about tomorrow, how to get myself ready, might do a workout, hurt myself pretty bad, that way I get too down with my team, go out there and play, So yeah, I good. Just plan out my day tomorrow.
Nice. And Chef, Amorim FC. The man name is Amorime. But anyway, go ahead.
Hey, meaning what? Anyhow. I'm good, hey, brother. Happy and so you married 10 years, boy. You just
Yeah,
real
boy.
like young old man, you know. So congrats to you and your wife, you brother. Boy.
Yeah, man. Blessings,
Brother,
blessings.
But I'm good. Listen, I'm not expecting miracles, you know. I ain't expecting no miracles, and Manchester is like a red woman from Parliament, so I ain't getting taking that train up at all. But it is as it is, though. We go see how it goes. No, as Christians say, I don't want to say we can't do no worse because yeah, we can do worse. You can get relegated. So I'm not gonna say that. Of course, I just want improvement. That is what. That is what. Slow, steady improvement.
Yeah, man. Well said, fellas. Just getting some of the comments. Jody on the inside. Jody, condolences again,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
Judy.
big win.
Condolences, my guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Big win tomorrow. Well, the Juju ball speaks, So
Say
let's
we
see how it
say
goes.
big loss now. When you say do the reverse.
Nah. Jody, tell the man that you get the mojo back now,
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to like and share the pod. We want to get more people on the inside, right? We have on the YouTube side and we also on Facebook. So do, right? I know the algorithm is work. And Jody saying happy. Yes, man. Thanks. Appreciate it, buddy. Right. So, fellas,
I got a question though.
go through.
We are really going to let 11 men determine our mental health for the next 9 months.
Correct.
Of course.
Yep.
Perfect. Let me start the podcast then.
No. No.
Let me start the podcast, man.
No.
Phil, they've been doing it for 6 years on this pod, right? We're gonna change this season, right?
True.
So fellas, we have started, with the new season, there's always the hope to improve the team. We've been, signing players. So the question is, right, how pleased you all are with our transfer business, how we approach the market, and when I say that, I mean in terms of, we were after only players who wanted to come, Man United. We was no big vibes. And anytime I talk about our big vibes, I remember this Frankie de Jong thing. And I was there on my knees. But anyway, how you all feel about, the business that we've done so far and how, Ineos and the club approach the transfer window, this particular window. What you know, Phil?
I can be honest. I think some of us may owe Ineos an apology for maybe this transfer window and maybe upcoming transfer windows, right? I think the approach, let's work backwards with regards to, let's start with Benjamin Sesko, right? I like the approach where if you are interested in coming to Manchester United, then we'll put in a bid for you, right?
But only then.
Only then. If you're not interested, then by all means, why am I going to spend my hard-earned money on you? Until you say, yes, I would like to come to Manchester United, definitely we will put in a bid, right? So that was good. That was a good strategy, right? If you look at Mbeumo, I think all of us were a bit frustrated that it took about 55 days to get Mbeumo over the line. But I think following up with signing Benjamin Sesko within maybe less than 10 days gave us some hope, right? I must also comment that after the Benjamin Sesko saga, I know it will not go, not saga, the Benjamin Sesko signing, I know it will not go through, but the intent, that's all I want to know. We are kind of started acting like a big club again. The intent to bring in Carlos Baleba was what made me a bit happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although it was a bit too high, and Ineos said, you know what, we'll wait till next season or next transfer window in the summer. That's what I'd like to hear, right? Don't spend any ridiculous money on another player, right? Because we saw how Brighton likes to get money for their players, from Ben White to McAllister to Caicedo, João Pedro. They had a goalkeeper as well, Robert Sanchez, that went to Chelsea as well too. They like to get money for their players, right? But they don't play hardball, right? And then also with regards to signing Mateus Cunha, what's the right term? What's the right scenario? Mateus Cunha signing does not count towards this financial year, if that's the case, right? The money that we spent on Mateus Cunha did not count towards this financial year. It counted to last year, right? So that was a good strategy as well too, right? Also pointing out that the likes of, because whenever players come in, players got to exit, right? So the likes of Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony, and Sancho on their way out, that is also great business as well too, right? So if we had signed Carlos Baleba, I would have put it at a 9 out of 10. But to be honest, we have a new front three, right? So I will give it, I want to say a 7.7 out of 10. Not really an 8, but if you want to run up to an 8, so be it. But I give it like a 7.7 out of 10. So players coming in are players that we need, and then players going out are dead wood. There are maybe a couple positions that we still need to address, like midfield and maybe the goalkeeping situation. But yeah, I say 7.7 out of 10 so far.
Yeah, I'm glad that you included the rating, so we could rate it as well, fellas. Go through that, JP.
Yeah, I will start with the rating. So I'm going close so far. I'll say 8 out of 10 so far, because when I look at the number of goals that we bring in, and one of our major complaints last season was the fact that we're not scoring goals. We were complaining straight across the forward line. We might not being too wasteful, not making right decisions, and they bring in 2 Premier League proven goal scorers in Mbeumo and Cunha. Immediately improve your forward line almost 10 times, I would say, there with them. Sesko may not have been my first choice, being honest. I would have liked somebody a little more proven and not around the same age as Rasmus, but I think what he has over Rasmus is the fact that he's still, I would say, a more experienced striker, because his name and reputation are around a little longer than Rasmus. So I think he's still coming with more experience than him. Because since what competition he'd scored that goal from half line. Was it a Euros? I think it was that he scored from half line or something. I can't remember what it was, but it's a while now his name around and being thrown around for people wanting him. So I think he's more than potential. So I'll be happy with that once he could come and hit the ground running. And I want to trust in Ineos, because if we're being honest, the previous window with De Ligt, Xerxes, Mazwari, Ugarte, that's a pretty decent window when you look at the players that we get there and what we get out of those players. Bringing in Dorgu, who is starting to see the improvement over the preseason. That's another good sign to make. We didn't see much on Leon, but other than that, the signings that Ineos making so far, it give him more confidence in Sesko in that sense, because I feel like they actually know what they're doing in terms of the players that they bring in. So if we could get a midfielder, I'd love Baleba, because we would know from before men was talking about Baleba this window, we just talk about Baleba. We were talking about this man a long time. We wanted this man in Man United a long time. So that would have been the perfect ending to the window. We could have stopped right there. I would be willing to keep Onana if we'd get Baleba and close the window there. And I'd be good with that. Right? But it's happening so. But there are other options out there, and I hope that we explore the options and we don't stop there, because I still feel like we need a little something more in midfield to add to the team. And if we could really get a goalkeeper too, that will make the world of a difference to the team. So 2 more signings if we could pull it off, and I will say that a perfect 10 window almost.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I tell myself, cause Lion did start with this Baleba thing, You know, I mean, as GP said, we was watching him, you know, from long time. But it was always, you know, a dream again, Baleba. But when we got that info that, you know, we were interested, I tell Lion, I say, I'm not investing. I get disappointed too much. And watch how disappointed I am right now. I'm almost belly hurting. You know? God, boy. Kristan, what are we saying?
Now, well, I would say the window is about a 7 as well as the other guy said. But we still reaping what Sir Alex Ferguson did, because to get players rejecting other teams to come United when it have no Champions League, came 15 last season, that is insane. Because like I think Arsenal wanted Mbemo to choose out. Even Sesko take a pay cut kind of thing to come United, you know, over Newcastle. But that the Baleba thing really surprised me too. I feel like when Ineos and them was fixing over Carrington, they find some oil on any day or something, because all of a sudden the money started run. But I know real people like Baleba, but this guy from Crystal Palace, Wharton, I really like him. I would, if we can't get Baleba, I don't see why we can't go for him. And there's different type of player, but I think Baleba kind of close to the way how Kobe's play, so I would like Adam Wharton.
All right. Simeon?
Yeah, I gotta go a solid 7 too. I think I would go higher, but I think I really want to see how this midfield thing turns out. You know, I was kind of, I mean, the goal explanation, you know, as far as Cunha and Bumo makes sense. We need those goals. And Sesko, you know, in a way sense too. But like, I was, you know, kind of confused as to why we addressed those two, you know, those two number 10s the way we did up front when we had, you know, goalkeeper and midfield questions. You know, and that led me to question: is this Amorim, Tim? Did he say, you know, my system could work? I just didn't meant to put the ball in the back of the net. You know, I think, or if that's what his thinking behind a front tree, you know, that's our window. I mean, that's incredible. But at the same time, you look at the team, you know, beforehand, we had, you know, some holes we had to fix, you know. So I give it a 7. I mean, I think for front three, I think we did the best we could do for the most part. You know, would put us, you know, at the same level as, you know, Liverpool, Chelsea, you know, City. I can't see it yet. I don't see it. I'm not sold on Sesko. I see some great things. I've seen some very average ball play as well in this game. So we you know, it's a Premier League too. So I have to see how that plays out. But as for right now, a lot depends on that Mbeumo Cunha, you know, and the gelling, you know, Sesko gelling. I think, you know, defense good, but, you know, Amorim, you know, as somebody, you know, was telling me this week, Amorim really had to coach, you know, show his system works with the players he have if we are to be in the top, you know, 7 or look for Europe.
Yeah. I don't know. Before Chef jump in, right? I just feel as though looking at the intent, and I know, you know, anybody could have intent and go after Messi and get rejected, and I understand that. But just basically, you know, how we went about the transfer window, you know, how we did business. We get Cunha wrap up early. We know that was what we wanted to do. That was the kind of profile the team needed. And I always go back to something Ollie had said. When you're signing players for Manchester United, you don't only sign a footballer, you sign a person, right? Because you want to know that they have the characteristics, they have the mentality. They won't be out in the night clubbing. Even listening to Amorim talk about the drive that he's seen with Sesko. That's the kind of people you want to bring into the club, right? And I think that had to be the deep dive into the person. We can't ignore it,
Yeah.
And that's why I want to really. That's why I want to give this transfer window props, and that's why I go kind of lean on 8, and I gotta agree with JP. You bring in a midfielder, and a goalkeeper. And there's a 11 out of 10, right? But the point is, we addressed an area that was struggling last season earlier. We couldn't score goals. We just couldn't. We unscoring goals. How much time we talk about unscoring goals?
Wasn't just last season, no?
Yeah, and it wasn't just last season, So I mean, to see that we went with that kind of intent to make sure we get Cunha, we get these fellas stats were second to, well, yeah, they were up in the top 3, top 5 last season in the Premier League, and we're not talking about fellas who coming from the Bundesliga or Syria. Are we talking about Prem proven players? And they were not average Prem proven players; they were ranking Prem proven players. You understand? And that we were able to get them to come into here, and Christian make a real good point. The fact we had to recognize what Sir Alex Ferguson do for men to be wanting to come here after last season.
Yep.
Massive credit to who would have gone before, right? So I telling you, with all those things considered, I gain this window so far at 8. I mean, but again, Baleba, God boy, I didn't want to get invested earlier. I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to get invested.
No,
But Chef,
I must before Chef drop in. I'm quite surprised that rival fans are surprised that even though we came 15th, we're still, and no Champions League, we're still able to pull in like talent from across, not only just England but across Europe as well too. But don't forget, we pull in the likes of Zlatan, Di Maria, and Pogba in one window, and we didn't have any Champions League. We had Europa League, but we didn't have any Champions League football. And that time we did that, So, and I mean, look, Newcastle, nobody hates you, but you got to stay in your lane, right? Nobody wants to play in a jersey that looks like a zebra crossing. Let's be real, right? So just stay in your lane. Yes, you have new owners. Kudos to you for making a challenge in the EPL, but you got to realize you're playing with the big dogs. Come on, be real.
Chef, go through.
You see why they hate Manchester United fans. Even in 15th place, we have big boy talk, I'll give it a 7.5, 7.5. A B minus, and the AML will say Chef Yahash. Here I given the board all pips for the signings, and not just because of who these signings are, but of how they went about it. This is the first time I want to say in however long that we actually went for players who was, when you watch your transfer strategy and you have, okay, this is my plan A, plan B, plan C. I want to believe before the season was finished, them 2 players was on the plan A to sign. And so we just give the board and them talk, but you have to give them props for that. So Matt, and let me be real. I think the hoping is, of course, we just signed 2 of the top 5 scorers in the league last couple of years.
Yep.
And then we went and get our next real good promising youth. Hopefully it come to fruition. He was definitely not my first choice. He was a lot of men's first choice. So that's why I can't even say he was a plan B signing for United. I just would have liked a more proven striker, Mateta, Watkins, something along that ilk, Ivan Toney, but I can't vex with the man, just like Simeon also said too. I see real highlights of the man. I also see some real shit from the man too. So, but hey, he young, so let me hope that this was the magic one finally to to improve the team. The only reason why I wouldn't give them higher than that so far is because it's just glaring. Yes, we couldn't score goals, but the kind of goals our goalkeeper cost us last season, that yeah. So I want to believe that if Melmas is saying, boy, if we could score, then it would make it easier on the team to close off games and make less pressure on the defense because we'll be scoring. But I still want to us finish off, hopefully get a goalkeeper. It don't have to be Donnarumma. And we need to scout like other teams. This man who's saving for City today, where he come from?
Burnley. Old Trafford.
Burnley, dog.
Yeah. But I think
City went and signed a keeper from Burnley.
He was a City
He was from the
academy player that when Burnley had a buyback close to the brought
Yeah.
Yeah.
So him, somewhere else I see a new keeper today.
Sunderland, I think Sunderland keeper look good.
No,
Sunderland
this
keeper.
fella, Villa keeper look good too.
Villa keeper. That's who I wanted. Villa. When I find him. So that to hell with Donnarumma, dog.
In France?
It's France, I think. Yeah. The daddy Dutch guy, right?
Yeah.
France.
I need
So
distribution and everything.
so that
I want to hear what you say. To hell with Donnarumma, though. I'm quite curious though, because you bet that one, Anna.
I am not. No. No. I better than Onana. Come on. I better than Onana. Because me have butterfingers like that. But then, personally, I am not a big fan of Donnarumma. No, have never been. And I just watched the all wrong thing of a player that, like Martinez, I could never support him because I find he's a whole jackass though. It's more than him as a player though. As a character, I just don't find he fits into the Manchester United vibes at all. Same thing with Donnarumma. I watch how Donnarumma move at Milan though. Like now I understand it's a business source, but I just don't want these kind of fellas come and to demand $300,000, bro. The days to Manchester, just giving men 300,000 a week, done. You have to earn that now, horse. Don't come to we and demand that, especially when you know win a Champions League and the team run you like a dog. You can't demand nothing, no, it's part of hell long. You need we just as much as we need you. Relax with that. So that's my thing with it have other keepers out there, as other teams clearly showing us. Donnarumma, if he had to come to me though, it can't be no 300,000. No, you have to get one something and relax. One to you. So
Chef,
if we could.
Well, Chef, I think I don't think your opinion matters because you're a coach. You should keep quiet.
Correct. And you know we coaches is just that. But hey, even a coach have a mouth, right?
It's true. It is very true.
Right. And a podcast. Big up to all United.
Big up to all the coaches and the comment coaches tonight. That was telling you all tonight.
From all over the world.
I'll behave, please. Behave, right? We developed last week, right?
Yeah. So that's and when it comes to the center midfield, here's where I'm 50-50 with that. I believe we need improvements there, but I also want a little piece of I want to give men the benefit of the doubt that they performed so bad last season that men have something to prove. So they come in, and that when I talk about And if NB does believe in Santa Claus, what happened? Let me believe that. So Casimiro, Kobe Mino, well, I'm real happy for Collier. Let the boy go and get sweat. Who else is going to have inside it?
Ugarte.
I'm missing someone more.
Bruno and Mount.
Bruno and Mount.
No, well, them all in the attacking, but we're talking about the defensive part of the work now. So
Bruno had to play the part.
between them three, though, men had to step up if we ain't get it. The men had to, all three of them, whenever they get called on, them fellas had to play better than they played last season. Three of them. But I don't mind, as I think Christian said, I really like Wharton too, and I will say that since last season. So me, I don't mind. We giving Palace a little 40 million and Garnacho. But I using them fellas as bargaining tool, you know. Them fellas has to be humble, you know.
Chef, that's a real FIFA way.
Dan, them
Garnacho
fellas,
go Palace. Garnacho go Palace.
he don't have a choice. This is what he have no choice.
Why we can't go Sancho yet?
He have no choice. Let me tell all that big boy talk about I go sit down for the next year. You really, but all right, pal. You need to show these fellas, Garnacho, Sancho, what the next imps. Why not even call him last year? Because he's a shit snake that nobody wants. Anthony. You see three of them? Them fellas had to pat down and realize, oh, we run things. All you have no say. All you have to pull your fingers on all your lip and relax. We send in all your so, go so. End the story. Let me go again.
Yeah, that's a damn story, so you'll get plenty money.
I wish them go so.
If it was so easy, we wouldn't have been having this issue over the years at all. Look, we can't even let go Sancho yet. Right? Milan bid 20 million, and we still waiting for Sancho to decide whether he want to move or not.
Yeah.
I think Roma expressed an interest as well too. So
yeah, Roma
Sancho have like what 3 years left on the contract or something like that.
All of them high years on the contract.
No, it's not 1 year. It's not 1 year again, Sancho.
No, but Sancho signed in like 2022 or something. It's now 2020.
Sancho signed under 10 high.
Oli.
Well, that man got about 2 years at most.
Yeah, Sancho I think had 2 more.
No, but I was saying he on 2 years on a 350 something salary. He want to take no 120 and think no else he go sit down and take that money.
But if he do that, then he have no ambition. Them fellas them fellas realize by now they don't have a choice.
No, but when you look at it, Sancho is like what 25 or 26, right? He next, like if he go to our next club and take that 120, he had to take that 120 for that 5 years, and then he not going to get a big contract. So that's why he trying his best to get or he goes to stay at United and take that money.
Go to Saudi then. Go to Saudi and.
But I was saying that's for them to Saudi.
Well, there's why no JP when it's expiring is next year.
Is next year? Sancho contract up already?
Yeah, I know that. That's why I know.
So we pay close to how much
Sancho don't care. He taking that money for the rest of the year.
We send this guy on 2. Don't forget, we send this guy on 2 loans. You know, Dortmund and Chelsea.
Dan, if anybody, we got no value for money at all. Was Sancho? You know?
Yeah, boy.
I think he only was signing. We making it long. That's why I don't know.
But Sash De Maria had to be 2 of the worst signings.
Anthony up there as well too, boy.
No, but De Maria, we get back money for De Maria. He stay a year and then we get back money for him. These fellas and them are lost.
Boy, between Anthony and Onana, Jesus Lord, boy, I would never ever get hyper about 2 players again, boy. Fidget spinner and then Beanie Man song, and never again, boy, never.
Let me just get some comments, fellas, right? Jody saying here no therapy session this season. Right?
Boy, we could only
pray emoji, right, fellas? Ayub Yusuf, United, thanks for joining.
United.
All right, Aaron on the inside. Thanks for joining. Good night, man. He's saying, "Oh, here we go again." That meme, fellas. Gregory on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying it's probably gas rim. Nah, boy, that belly hot was disappointment, despair, all kind of thing. We. Saying here Newcastle is the ugly girl in the club. Yeah, boy. Nah, them are feel real. Them are packed down, you know.
All the
Them
way
are
down.
packed. Yeah, them are packed down. All that talk, the feeling and the feeling, you know, there was in the game now, boy. A reality those we. And Mbumo and Cunha help with the goal scoring load. I'll give the transfer business a 6 for now. All right. Javid on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. Saying, glory, Man United. Top 5 is my target with good competitive football. Balabe would be a bonus. We did more than I expected so far. No, new red on the wagon. Okay, those are 12 minus 12. Or those are 12.
I think she's 12 years old, right? I assume.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think
Need that third kit by 2. Sesko
Yeah,
starts,
boy.
sure. And how Mount getting minutes based on preseason. He deserve a look in. All right, we will get to that. Eric on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying we were always getting Sesko. I heard Sesko had to Google what his name.
I tell you, yeah, all your United fans, boy. Oh, God.
Gregory saying yes, so Alex used to look inside first, so it's practically going back to our strategy to give us an advantage, less adaptation time. And we're talking about the proven players, right?
Yep.
Prayers out to Sekou Kone, yeah, for real. Real
He
unlucky.
wasn't doing better.
Yeah, he get released, he home recovering,
Right.
you know, but real unlucky, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Sancho tell Roma he not impressed. I'm telling you, Sancho that real.
Sancho studying to put tattoo behind the ears of them baddies and them fussy dotish.
I see that.
Gregory saying yes, Saudi clubs want it. Well, by none of we players seem to want to go Saudi, right?
Man, them fellas that want Saudi.
Yeah. Dwayne Alain on the inside, thanks for joining. He's saying Sancho
Oh,
have
Dwayne.
one. Yeah, so just one more year. Yeah. Eric saying here, I hope Kobe starts. If he doesn't start, we're going to lose an 80-year record of having academy graduate in the starting lineup for the preseason, for the season opener.
That record is not starting lineup, you know. That record is the match squad.
Okay.
No, but
Okay.
and they would class this. Am I sure Ahmad starting this class Ahmad as academy? So
No.
No, how you remember we buy Ahmad?
no, but Ahmad when we buy him, he went to the academy. He never come to like the first team one time. I know we spent plenty money for him, but he went to the academy.
You sure?
Yeah,
I don't
Ahmad
think so.
Ahmad play real long in the academy, and then he get loans and thing.
Come Phil, Twitter fingers. Check that.
Boy, got
No, I think that he played first, right?
He played with the academy. He played with the academy. He did play with the academy when he came.
But
But that don't make him an academy player.
Yeah. Like
No,
how
well,
Kobe-
yeah,
how
well,
Kobe
I
and
can't, I can't say that, but I just say he played with the academy.
It depends on the contract they signed, because Eden Hepburn was signed on a professional contract, not an academy
Correct,
contract.
yeah.
Although he's a young player.
Because you enter what age you could sign a professional contract? 17?
It's not
16 or 17?
16, yeah.
I think it's 16 in England.
16 in England?
England, yeah,
That's
because
it.
I mean, not England related, but Lamine Yamal, I think, signed a professional contract at 16, right? So
Yeah. So I think probably that was the reason he went to the academy. He couldn't sign a professional contract yet.
No, we signed Ahmad so young. No, Ahmad wasn't so young.
yeah, we say Ahmad at least 19 or 18.
I think he was 18 or 19 years old.
Yeah, because
So
he got
probably don't
loaned.
count then. It probably
He
don't
got
count.
loaned twice. One to Celtic and then one to
Rangers. He went
Rangers.
Rangers.
Sorry,
Rangers.
Yeah,
That's
Rangers.
Sunderland.
At Sunderland, yeah. Ahmad is only 22. Ahmad is only 22 now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
All right, so guys, I want to move on to a section here, right, where we're looking at, well, it'll be our predictions, right, and the comment sections, you all you could feel free to chime in as well. So we want to look at some predictions for a couple categories here, right? So we want to look at the player of the season, your player of the season. Now we're talking about Manchester United. Huh? So your player of the season, the young player of the season, top goal scorer, most assists, breakout young player, underwhelming player, most improved player, signing of the season, where we will finish, and which trophy you all think we will win. Right? So let me start with the player of the season, fellas. Who you all think will be our player of the 2025-2026 season? Phil.
It would have to be between Mbeumo or Cunha for me. If I had to pick one, I'm more sold on Mbeumo, so he'll be my player of the season. Yeah.
JP.
Yeah, Phil take my player there. Take my player.
All right, that's two.
Yeah, well, I might as well say it one time and move on for me too, right?
That's three.
I tell it
Tristan?
all, yeah. If we get rid of Onana will be player of the season because that fella,
Boy.
that fella. But
I can't even fight you there, Christian.
I would go with Mbeumo too. Mbeumo is that player.
I'll go with Dogu just from preseason. The way he looking.
Yeah, good show. Chef?
Mbeumo.
All right. So the boomers have it, eh?
Mine. Oh, I hope all your fellas right, man. I ain't see enough from. I mean, you see glimpses, but I ain't see enough from both of them.
Yeah.
And Mbeumo or Cunha. I want to see that same kind of, how Chelsea assignment, bust net first game. City assignment. That is, I wanted to see that kind of performance tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say.
Liverpool assignment and the busting net first
Yeah,
game.
one time. I hoping to see that tomorrow.
Yo, boy, I got a comment on they got a meme going around with Virgil van Dijk running away from Semenyo, boy.
Yeah.
Boy, Virgil van Dijk is such a criminal, boy. Anyway,
I don't even want to comment about Virgil van Dijk again.
Not a Liverpool team look so good at it protecting him, boy. That man fall off real bad, boy.
No, but like how people saying Sesko young and thing. I think that him playing with Cunha and Mbeumo way different from when Rasmus had to play with Garnacho.
Agreed.
And,
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Rashford.
It's a big
Yeah.
help. It's a big help.
so he wouldn't have it as hard as Højlund. And I
Yeah,
think
but
to
Højlund
me,
do himself
he
no
be-
favors.
He's better than no. He is better than Højlund, and then he playing with better players at the side of him. So
watch next year, February. Højlund gonna join you for Trinidad Carnival next year. Watch that see.
What's that?
Højlund gonna join you for Trinidad Carnival next year. Watch that see.
Yeah, you better go proper. Bro.
All right, next one, fellas. Top goal scorer. Who getting the most goals for you this season?
Boy, my answer may change in the next 10 to 15 games, but as of right now, I'm still sticking with my first answer. That is Mbeumo.
Mbeumo. Me too. Yeah.
Same.
You see that left foot one he had it?
Yeah.
That man can score. Watch man. He can score real goals sweet way.
Real goals. Yep.
I really like Cunha.
I like Cunha as well too, but they got something about Mbeumo that got me thinking.
But I think Mbeumo is more a savage goal scorer than Cunha. When you watch the kind of goals Mbeumo does score for all kind of angles, boy, and he's quick. So, yeah.
And that's it. That's a real good point, Chef. You look at the kind of goals Mbeumo does score. He had a real variety in the kind of goals he able to score.
Both feet.
He could score with the right foot. He could score with the left foot, and the left foot is the one. You understand? He had them half volleys on point. You understand? Free kicks.
This free kicks, and I think that's one of the biggest improvements too, that we have more set piece players this season than Bruno come
No.
and take everything.
No, but that's why I'm saying Sesko real dangerous in the air. Like that's one of
Yeah.
the reasons Arsenal was going after him instead
Yeah.
of Gyökeres at first, because Gyökeres scored like 50 goals last season and none was a header. Not a
Yeah.
single goal was a header. And
The first
I look
goal
at
was a-
Mbemo crossing and thing. And the thing is Sesko good in the air. He good in the air. So once them man can put in good cross, he bound to score. So,
Sesko.
Cunha just give you some nice assists to it.
And
mhm.
Sesko like what, 6'5" or something like that?
Yeah, he's 6'5".
tall.
He's 6'5".
So,
I mean, Sesko, the kind of assists he should get, Sesko should be the
Top
top
scorer.
top scorer.
That
Should
would be
be.
my answer too. Should be.
I don't want it to be Bruno Fernandes. I'm telling you real talk. Because to me, if it's Bruno Fernandes, that means this team has
It's
been
too poor. Yeah, correct.
yeah.
I want
Yeah.
one thing about Sesko, like
It could be
Sesko.
Bruno, but I don't want it to be Bruno at all.
It shouldn't be. It really
It shouldn't be correct.
It shouldn't be. A man who further away from the goal should not be the goal top scorer. I'm sorry.
I mean, penalty. The man gets some penalties.
Yeah.
No.
All right. That's it.
All right, let me look at most assists.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno and Memo for me.
Boy, my answer staying the same again, boy. Cool, and Buemo, boy. Because like, boy, I got so much faith right now in Buemo, boy. Because Buemo looked like a solid player when he was at Brentford, boy. So that first three categories definitely going to Buemo for sure. Yeah.
I'm hoping for Dorgu or Ahmad could whip in some crosses. I'm hoping we see more of that this season.
Ahmad is a good shout, you know. Ahmad is a real good shout, going on the byline, taking on men one-on-one and just putting it across the face of the goal. I think
Ahmad got the he here back black though. First.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Assisting.
Bun that blonde.
That cheetah look.
Yeah. I call it cheetah.
They gonna have to rub enough on them fellas, boy.
Yeah, boy.
No, but Ahmad is a good show. Ahmad is a good show, but still going to Mbeumo.
Why? The thing is, Mbeumo real direct, boy. He ain't no flashy player, and he hit the ball, he running out there and shooting, or he passing it off. He want to overbeat and thing that, boy. Like he's the closest man that have to Salah in the Premier.
And what I like too is he a nice link up play too now, boy. The man is linking play real nice, boy.
He's an intelligent player.
That's he real simple and direct.
JP, what you say?
Yeah. Cunha, I say Cunha because I think Cunha and Mbeumo is more. Both of them like to shoot, both of them like to score, but I think Mbeumo like to score more. So I feel Cunha would have the more assist mind. Like he would want to assist more than score. That's the feel I get from him, the way he's played the ball. He would look to assist before he try to score. But then Mbeumo will try to score before he assists. If that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Who would be the signing of the season?
Mbeumo.
Well, I got to say it again. Don't get me wrong. If Benjamin Sesko does hit the ground running, he definitely will be our signing of the season because it's a position that we have been crying for, right? But my answer for the first three categories and for this fourth category will be consistent. Let's put it that way. So
I don't know. I kind of tending towards Sesko. I don't know. I just feel
you know,
with the kind of service we hoping that he gets, you know, and that I see now. I had to agree, and I share the same sentiments with Simeon and Chef as they mentioned it. You know, in terms of the certain aspects of his game, it don't fill me with much confidence. But the fact that he's strong in the air, right? He have a little bit of link up, not the best, and he could strike the ball proper. Once he keep getting service and keep getting chances, I just feel, he might really score a lot of goals and be the signing of the season for me. I really feel so. Perhaps it might change after I see the Arsenal game tomorrow. Because it don't take me long to figure out if a player gonna be good, gonna be trash.
Boy, you're not wrong there, boy.
But I don't know why I just have a good feeling about Sesko.
Yeah, I think for me, I'll go to Mbuma this time. I think having a player like we saw, I think it's one of the last games, where Mbuma came back, got the ball, turned, and and carried the ball. I feel like, I know that's not really where he should be, but against the press, you need a player like that has the physicality, the speed, the confidence to take the ball and progress the ball in a tense, situation. Because a lot of times, who we had up there, we had Bruno and Garnacho, like men wasn't secure with the ball. You need more players. Like, I think that's one thing that Amorim did with this team is getting more secure, ball handlers on the field that could, get the ball in a half turn and move it. I think our ability to handle the press is going to play a big part, tomorrow. So between Ahmad, Dogo on the left hand side, I think we should have enough players, and that's where you look at Ugarte. That's where you look at you always find the weak link on a team. Like, you want to see who can handle the ball, and you try to make sure the ball is fouled to that person. So I hope whoever we have in there tomorrow could handle, like I said, because Ahmad could get, they could mark out Ahmad. Menu always gets marked out. Anytime he plays, he gets marked out. So watch and see who teams isolate and leave the ball, when they're pressing.
The good thing with the team now, Simeon, is that if you mark out Ahmad, you have Mbeumo. If you mark out Kobe, you have Cunha. You still have Bruno. You still have Sesko. So I think we have more threats in the team now. That if you try to mark out players, you're going to create space for other players. So that's what we had to capitalize on, because last season, you mark Ahmad out the game and you feel like we lose all the attacking impetus in the team. So now if you mark out Ahmad, you still have Mbeumo on the same side, who you had to try and you can't leave him free, right? And then you have Sesko on top, you have Cunha on the other side, you still have Bruno behind them, you have Dogo on the other side. So we have plenty of threats in the team now. And I think that's what Amorim have to drill into this team, and we can't play scared football. We have to play football and recognize.
When I look at it too, last season we didn't really struggle against the big sides on them. We actually run the big sides on them. In the smaller sides, we struggle to score on them. Because we played Liverpool twice. Liverpool, I think they beat us the first time, but the second time, they were quite lucky to get off our draw. Even we beat City and then we draw with them. I think we beat Chelsea and lost to Chelsea. And Arsenal, we draw twice. I remember Bruno scoring a free kick back. I remember if we win that game or draw that game or what. But we really struggle against these small teams on them.
But my problem playing even when we play the big teams, even though we would not have necessarily lost the game, and it would have been, I still find we just set up in a way where we know we're not the better team.
Yeah.
And I will move away from that kind of underdog kind of mentality. Correct. I will just start to go head to head with these bigger teams and play football. Not sit back in a low block, and when we get the ball, we can hold it for 2 seconds, but play it over the top, we might get a chance.
That's what we talk about.
But Reem, we have to play with what we have, and Garnacho and
I understand that.
play.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is we improving so that we don't have to be playing that kind of negative football.
We shouldn't see that this season.
Our start to games and the start of the season going to make a big difference this season. We had to start games better. We had to settle into games better. And then we cannot start off the season losing foolish losses. to teams that they have no right to be losing.
No, but I think we had the hardest start for the season. We have Arsenal, then Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham. Like the first 10 games, there's all the big sides on them.
Boy, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? So
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. So we starting off.
And that's a good test. That's a good test. Let me see if this team already improves.
Yeah. So watching the time, and I want to jump across the other ones we could talk about probably tomorrow when we're doing the review, right? I want to jump across on the match preview for the Arsenal game, right? Now, Arteta, how long Arteta at Arsenal? Long, right?
I agree.
you're going into his sixth season now, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But with the expectation, especially with the investment from Ineos, Amorim there. So between Amorim and Arteta, who will you think under more pressure to perform?
Amorim.
Arteta.
Yeah. Amorim.
Go ahead.
I would say Amorim as well.
But
Shazzy,
we go give a reason as well now. Why you
Okay,
think?
so basically, Arteta, all he won was the FA Cup, but at the end of the day, I look at the style of football, and he team just play good. They probably when they come second how much time they bottle it, right? That is, they can say there's Arsenal all this season, but they just play good, right? And this season, I think he finally got a striker, and they might even be better. But Amorim came 15 last season, and the club spent plenty of money, so I think he would be under more pressure.
Mhm.
The difference, I think, is Arsenal has always been a club content with just being good enough and not the best. Because in Wenger days, fourth place trophy, I mean, fourth place is not easy to get, but Arsenal used to celebrate coming fourth because they're in Champions League. So I think the expectation of the club is different with the owners. They run like a business. They make the money from qualifying for Champions League, and they're happy with that. Arteta, they're long enough that they should have won the league. They should have backed Arteta long enough with a striker. Had they backed him last season, they actually may have won the league last season. Because they were the team.
I why they
They were
have
the team.
Havertz and
Yeah, they were the team that was supposed to step up when City slipped, but they let Liverpool do it. So it kind of goes to show the ambition of the club. Because if the owners were serious about it, they would have backed Arteta with the investment in areas that they actually needed. And at Man United, we know the pressure is always there, regardless of who the manager is. And Ineos put the money where the mouth is. Actually, Jim Ratcliffe fit we are Uno reverse because he do the opposite of what Woodward do. He come out and say we broke, and then went and spend a certain money. So they put the money where the mouth is. They invest in the club. They invest in Amorim type players now. He get the players he wants. If they add it, even more so. So I think he is under more pressure, and having finished 15th, he had to do something this season. Not necessarily win something, but you have to see like a market improvement in this team. It had to be drastic. We have to see a drastic improvement. A 10th place finish is not enough. I think 6 and up is what they had to be looking at for improvement.
Yep.
Top 5, what 10th? They're not 10th. Is Manchester.
No, but go ahead, Simeon.
No, I kind of disagree. I mean, pressure Amorim overall, but for this game, Arteta. I mean, you want to see a good performance from United, but Arteta is the man who he was the semis of Europe last year. I'm like, I mean, they laughed at us last year because we finished 15th, and we get that, but the fact that Tottenham won a trophy, Palace won a trophy, Chelsea won a trophy, everybody have trophy in their hand, and
everybody in London.
And Arsenal was just there with trophyless. I think it's his. I mean, he has to he has to win something this year. He can't afford to lose the 15th place United at the opening day. You look at that. I mean, we fighting to get back in Europe, but he fighting to win the league, and he got to deal with Chelsea. You see how Chelsea looking, City, and Liverpool, and he finally got all the tools. I mean, we spend money, but Arsenal for the last 2-3 years was putting up the last piece in. Oh, Declan Rice. That's really this guy's the last piece. Another year of the last piece. So I think Amorim need to do well this season, no doubt. But Teta need to win trophies this season, and he need to show intention first game out. I think we talked about the players we have, how driven they are, how they, and I see it. I ain't gonna lie, I see the hunger from our players. But, because it's Old Trafford, we got so much licks in the last few years. I don't feel like, just that could go give the game tomorrow. So I think Arsenal have to win. I mean, they need the way the league looking for them. They have to win. We just trying to be in Europe this season. So as far as who under the most pressure, Amorim have to show something. Teta has to have the results.
If I could jump in here, right? I think Amorim could be under more pressure. All right. Now, Andrew, you make a good point. The fact that Arsenal have a real kind of second place mentality, right? With the kind of investment, check it, right? The kind of investment that club made into that team over the past couple of years since Arteta there. If it was Man City, if it was Chelsea, then would have bossy through it long time. Right? Long time he was gone. I see this guy, what's his name again? The bald fella who Matteo from Chelsea. He win the Champions League and within no time them fire his season. The season after.
You want to put that coach back.
But the point I'm making, right, Simeon, is Amorim do not have any grace. He don't have no credit in the bank. He used up everything last season.
Yeah.
At 15th place with those kind of performances, people just waiting for we to lose 2-3 games in a row. And you're gonna hear Amorim out. You understand what I'm saying? So because people look at the kind of investment the club make, and just make, and this is where Man United, I think, probably different from Arsenal, right? With this kind of investment, Amorim don't have much wiggle room in. If he don't achieve what the objectives are, and I'm not saying that the objectives for the team is to win the league, right? But for me, it's to qualify for Europe, whether it's Champions League or Europa League. That is where the objectives are, and at least a cup. But we could talk about those kind of predictions sometime in the future. But the point is, I don't think that we as comfortable as Arsenal in terms of settling, right? We know where we want to get back to, right? Arsenal was never there to get there, to get back there, right? What they know is where they are right now. And their fan base has continued to, I think the fan base have more standards than the board, right? Because they're always winning next year. Patrice Evra say there's always next season for you, right? Yeah. So for me, I think Amorim under immense pressure, and it's simply because he used up all he credit last season.
No, but even that talk about trophies, and the trophies, Chelsea won the conference and Tottenham Europa. Arsenal not in those competitions. More than likely they will win them thing. They're challenging. And I think
you know Arsenal would have win them thing? Arsenal
was in the Europa League and didn't win. We talking
twice
about?
And didn't win.
No, but not on that Arteta.
Yes, on that Arteta.
No. Since he came 5th and 8th and then, and when he come in top 4, he keep coming in the top 4. As in they play Champions League on them. They didn't play them competitions. Man. But at the end of the day, we was looking to win Europa last season not because of that trophy, but to get into the Champions League. But they playing in Champions League. So that talk about trophies comparing them with Tottenham and Chelsea kind of I don't think that's a good argument.
But you see, at the end of the day, it's about trophies.
Chelsea had 2 Champions League, you know. Chelsea
Yeah.
win every single.
It's about
Trophy.
Champions
No,
League.
I'm talking about last season, like Chelsea winning the Conference League and Tottenham in Europa. That really hit Arsenal, really, you know, because the Conference League, Chelsea win.
You said that
what was the result?
in Arsenal.
What was the
I think
result in the
that's
Club
a
World Cup? What was the result in the Club World Cup final?
No, but at the end of the Club World Cup, they need to restructure that.
Nah, but don't matter.
tournament,
Chelsea Conference League winners wash off PSG Champions League winners, and Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tottenham was 2 goals up, you know, against them
Yeah.
in the Europa Super Cup, you know. So
And if we be being honest, and I think a lot of us don't get the rivalry them London teams have for each other. That Dan, imagine Crystal Palace win a cup before Arsenal. No, it might be easy for us to say, well, nah, that ain't
No,
bother
but
Arsenal. It bother
Crystal
them
Palace win the
trust.
FA Cup, that's a good trophy. The FA Cup. I would say the FA Cup better than the Conference League, I think.
No, it isn't. But by the end of the day, I remember the positions the clubs in too, because Chelsea in a different stage than where Arsenal is there, because they now get Maresca. They now get Maresca compared to how long Arteta there. So when you look at it, Maresca still come and win
The ahead of
something.
the club.
And
The
not
ahead of
just
the club.
one thing. He win 2 things, because he went and win the Club World Cup now too. And
Yep.
the money they get from the Club World Cup, they could invest that again in the team and buy the Chelsea buy what it is 49 players in the last 4 years. You know? You ought to go back to Ander Herrera for Manchester United 10 years ago for when we bought 49 players. You know?
and just to add to the Arteta pressure, right? How you let Arne Slot come in for the first time and win the Premier League before you?
That's what I'm saying.
Think about it.
No, but
That's what I'm
at
saying.
the end of the day,
And
he
that-
team
that
had
goes
injuries
to
and
the
thing.
club.
He was playing this fella on top and thing. He team had injuries. So what all rate Ten Hag then? Ten Hag won 2 trophies, you know.
Boy, and Ten Hag worst season of his professional career. He win more trophies than Arteta.
The Marx is something
It all comes
crystal.
down to playing style and into it. Arteta though, Arsenal don't play bad football. So although they did challenge every season for the title, you know. And
Right. So are you playing to win trophies or to look good?
no, but that's what I'm saying.
It's a simple
Nice Wenger football.
It's a
Nice Wenger
simple
football.
question. Are you playing to look good or win trophies?
But as JP says, Arsenal and Man U, so that's what at Arsenal.
That's
What good for
What you
them.
know? You could say he's a lawyer too. Because I expect that argument from JP. That is a simple question, you know. Are you playing to win trophies or look good?
Trophies,
Simple question.
trophies.
Simple question. You have 2 options. Don't give me anything. Just answer that for me now.
Trophies.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next question. That's all.
What's the next category?
And I don't disagree. You want your team look good. You want your team improve every year, which Arteta has done. But bro, after 5 years, I don't think men understand. You know, we don't talk about this. Arsenal spend stink money, you know, in the last 5 years on that team, you know. Not to mention getting rid of big players as soon as he come. So that board give him real faith, you know. So he faith them and them had to be watching. He know like so when we get in a return on the investment, boy.
They're already getting it, chef. They're already getting it. That's what I'm saying about Arsenal. They getting Champions League football and getting the money from that. Arsenal
I agree. Arsenal football.
The fans want more than what the board demanded.
Fans want more than what the board wants, yes.
Yeah.
I
Because
agree
watch me,
that
describing
Arsenal
Arteta-
football does look good.
Is describing Wenger. Wenger used to play good football. Arsenal
But he used to
always
win.
played good football. Wenger didn't really win much.
No, but JP, that was only coming up to the last couple of years. Arsenal and
No,
United used to be the teams winning.
No.
When
What
you compare the
Wenger win, Chef?
span of Wenger career, the span
No,
of
but
his
Wenger
career,
won like 3
when
Premier,
you-
no, and he win a good with the FA Cup, and he did win a lot.
Nah, Wenger win. You
And
can't
the
Wenger
man,
find.
wasn't
the man
full
about
era.
up against Sir Alex too. If Sir Alex
But
was
that's what I'm
there, he might
saying.
have
So
won
he
more.
went much.
Yeah,
No, but he
when you
still-
compare that to the amount of time he had with that team and how well they were playing Christian, he underachieved. He underachieved.
Exactly.
Arteta do what he need, what we would like Amarin to do. You're there 5 years. Remember, we discussed this. If I hire a manager, right, the first 2 years, I give you all thing to revolutionize the side, to change around, to put your stamp on what you want. Cool. After 2 years, after the third year, you're supposed to be kicking on now to try and win the league because now you have your team. Then you're going into your 6th year now, playing all that great football because let me be real, Arsenal does play good football. Arsenal used to be so soft. As soon as you start to put pressure on them, they just crack. Now they improve, but that can't be it. The Hatters, them. If I want to say this, if Arteta doesn't win either the Prem or the Champions League, I don't want to hear about FA Cup because that can't be the standard. If them don't win the Prem or Champions League, then it was a failure of a season for Arsenal.
Yeah.
We know, and I am. You see me, I just live in the real world. I don't live in the wonderful world of Disney. I want an improvement in our style. Exactly what you're talking about. I want an improvement in our style of football, Jen, and I will take a top 6. If we could get that for me, I will say, good, well done, Amarin. Kick on from that now.
And the thing about it is we know how to win trophies. So we want the performances now.
Yeah.
We want the performances. And I believe with the mentality that the team have to win things, right?
Yeah.
Once we could add proper football and proper structure to that,
Yes.
I think we could mount a challenge before to the Premier League before Arsenal could win it. And I'm saying that we not this year, don't get me wrong. But I believe once we get we act together, we get we house in order. We
had to do. Our football had to improve, boys. So you know what? I want to back to the original question: who under more pressure? But
Is Amarin
is under more pressure, but Arteta in far behind now. To be quite honest.
No, but you see the point we're making, Chef, is once the board comfortable with Champions League and second or third place, and you're playing good football, as Christian say, he's safe. He's safe.
Yeah.
Boy, them Arsenal fans in China hear that again, huh?
You know how long Wenger was in charge of Arsenal before the board actually take time to listen to the fans? And then too, was watching he age and Wenger was talking stupidness. Arteta's still young.
On the Wenger case, so Wenger was losing the best players every season, eh?
Because you know why, right? There wasn't winning.
There wasn't winning.
Exactly.
There wasn't winning.
No,
And it was glaring.
Wenger spent money like Arteta. He ain't get that.
No, and exactly.
He didn't. That wasn't Wenger way. Wenger, that wasn't way. But at the same time, Wenger had an extremely good crop of players. But it started becoming that, hey, all this pretty football, we're not winning. And what made it worse is every single one of them top players, every time they leave Arsenal, they went and win, you know.
Yeah.
You know how to be the one that break the camel back? You see when Hleb leave and when Barcelona win.
And
I mentioned 2 comments that Arteta made recently that kind of puts him under more pressure than Amarim, right? Because Amarim has never declared that this Manchester United side will compete for anything. He just says that the side needs to improve on certain areas, right? Arteta in the last couple of days, not weeks, in the last couple of days has said 2 things. This Arsenal club has accumulated the most points in all 3 seasons. That's 1. And 2, He said, if you keep digging and digging and digging and digging and digging and
You
digging,
must touch goal. He said that he said that yesterday.
correct. So if you're making those type of claims, something got to happen.
Yep.
Something got to happen. And I mean, those two statements are going to, I guess, quote unquote, reassure Arsenal fans. But Arsenal fans coming for your neck come next year, if you're not in the top, if you're not challenging for the title. As I mentioned about 5 minutes ago, how Arne Slot coming from the Dutch league and win the Premier League before you. Think about it. And Man City,
with no additions being scored.
and Man City strengthened, Liverpool strengthened. We have strengthened as well too. Spurs, if Spurs get Savinho and Eze, my God, they could be challenging at least for top 4.
Chelsea.
Man,
Don't forget Chelsea.
you see Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea as well.
People talk about all the buys Chelsea buys, but a buy that I feel people underestimating. You see that João Pedro buy?
Yeah.
Who underestimated that by?
Who underestimated that?
JB,
Boy.
Menarel underestimated that by.
Underestimated that buy.
That is first striker buy I make an FPL.
No, what's
Damn.
them talking about?
You see?
Yeah, but who?
So
João
underestimated
Pedro. If it's three strikers that I named that I would have loved at Manchester United, João Pedro and Mateta were two of them.
You see that? Then Delap
as well too. Yeah.
Delap will be lucky, real talk, to see that pitch.
Correct.
He'll be lucky.
João Pedro linking with the players better than Delap.
And João Pedro is a more finished product.
Yeah. Fellas, we'll just get these 2 comments and then we get the last one and we look to wrap it, right?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Griffith on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. Good night
Yeah,
to
but
you.
good night, man.
Right, he's saying, I think us not playing European football gives us an advantage, not only in cup games, but also having new addition gel with the rest of the team. Correct?
Yeah.
We hope so.
So let's hope
We
we
hope
take
so.
we take full advantage of that, right?
Yeah.
So Gyökeres and Sesko, right? The big debate on it. And if I look at the picture that we had before, it was Sesko and Gyökeres. Now we don't know to what extent Sesko will feature tomorrow. I mean, the manager hint that he could start, but we don't know, right? But based on what we see, the potential, what we know, the support staff, stuff like that. Who do you think will outperform the other between Gyökeres and Sesko? Like which team you think get a better deal?
Well, obviously Arsenal. There's no question about that. Arsenal got one of the top strikers in Europe. 1 and 2, he is of that age where he is mature enough to adapt to the Premier League. Right?
No, but not even that. He price and all the game. Really.
Yeah. The price I was going to mention that as well. So the price they got him at was less than 70. Was about 75 mil or less. So yeah, they got a proven goal scorer who was ripping the back of the net in the Champions League as well, too, under Amorim.
Yep.
And yeah, man. So they got the better deal, obviously, on paper. Let's put it that way. On paper and on past experience. But our minds can definitely change 15 to 20 games into the season if Sesko is provided the right service. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
The guy can finish. So, but as of right now, based on paper and on pass, hands down is Arsenal and Gyökeres, right? So,
I agree. And just to add to that too, we have been talking about strikers not getting the service, and I really think we just underestimate that. So I'm gonna say we name Razzmatazz. He should have been getting more service, but he didn't do himself more justice. So I want us, because we were talking about how selfish our midfielders are. I want to believe we have the type of players playing around Sesko, as Christian said, that going to feed him. Don't be looking for all your names up in the limelight. That will come. Feed on the striker. That will have a lot to do with how I honestly believe the the performance of our midfield, our wingers, will say a lot about how far we go as a team that scores and about where we finish in the league.
Yeah. Phil make a good point, with regard to Arsenal and Gyökeres. But anybody had any opposing opinion on that in terms of Sesko possibly being the better buy?
Not really,
Yeah.
I think, but I think it's not by a big margin, I think to me, it's more based on what the clubs needed. Arsenal needed that finished striker. If we didn't sign Mbeumo and Cunha, I would say we needed a Gyökeres. But because we have those two players behind him, and he will come with a little more confidence than the striker that we presently have, we want to call his name. I think because of those two players behind him, he not far off from Gyökeres. If I understand what it is I'm saying, because Arsenal just needed the finished product. That's what they needed. They needed that man to come in who could bang the goals and be that person. We had two players who we bring in goals and who like to provide assist as well. So having Sesko on top there could also good in our system.
Yeah, I think the target that I think one thing Sesko seems to do well is to give people that target, that range to put the ball in. I think the kind of crosses we have. I mean, we don't see it often enough. But we say we have Bruno, we have Mbeumo, Cunha, looking for Ahmad, Dogu. I see Casemiro already. The kind of balls you could put in that box is perfect for Sesko. And I think we have the right players to get me service. My issue with Sesko is when you put the ball on when you have those teams that play defense and play 5-back, can he do the 1-2 passes to break down a defense? Can he, the ball sometimes it gets to his feet and he tries to, score. He's a big, tall guy, so he tries to push the ball, give himself some space and shoot. So sometimes he might be a black hole as far as the ball is concerned, and they put it in and it won't come back out to anybody. But besides that, I think if he gets good service, which we could give potentially, it could be a great, it could be our top scorer.
No, Reem, I know you asked between Gyökeres and Sesko, right? But I going out on a limb and saying this, that we got the better front three. I think we got the better front three. I think Mbeumo and Cunha are better than Ricky Martinelli and Limp Bizkit, right? So I think so, right? So yeah.
Never Saka, Saka man, Saka.
Put some respect on Saka, name. Don't do
Saka is a brilliant player.
Put some respect on Saka, name.
I say the day EA Sports bring the Saka limb as a celebration. Done.
I have a different take on Arsenal and Gyökeres, right? And I just watch the way Arsenal play, right? And I know, they were saying they wanted goals, so they went and they got a goal scorer.
Yeah.
But Arsenal football is so interconnected in the way how it is played and that kind of telepathy that I just not seeing how Gyökeres fitting into that mold. I could be proven wrong, eh? Yeah, also I always saw the likes of a Isaac or a Watkins fitting Arsenal's style of play so much better, right, than an out-and-out goal scorer like Gyökeres. Right? And I just feel like it could have a miss somewhere. I'm not saying that he ain't gonna score. Don't miss what I'm saying. But I just feel like the volume of goals that people expecting Gyökeres to come and score, I don't think they're gonna have that kind of connection and and he could score and be as lethal as he was in sports. And I think Gyökeres would have fit a Man United or a Liverpool style of football and Newcastle style of football better than Arsenal, right? And that is why I feel as though Sesko, who I believe as well, similar in profile to Gyökeres, is the type of striker we, this quick transition footballer we seem to want to be playing. This is why I feel Sesko might be better suited for the style of football and the team that he joined playing. So that's why I see it.
No, because I get what you're saying, because when you watch the type of goals he scores, a lot of his goals are barging down on a defense.
A counter attack.
It's a counter attack. He loves that kind of football.
No, but I would also say he athleticism because he have jumping abilities, probably not as good as Cristiano, but he just jump real high, right? And I look at some videos, he score real headers. And when you look back,
who are you talking about, Christian? Gyökeres or Sesko?
Sesko. When you look back at Ten Hag's second season, right? When he needed a goal, he used to send on McTominay, and McTominay was to get a goal because McTominay, if you watch one thing McTominay have real good is the movement. He was to always get himself in a position to win that header and score. And I think that is where Sesko have better than Højlund. I do think Højlund have good movement in the box. He don't make good runs and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once you put in good balls and you have a man who good at headers, they're bound to score now.
Yeah. So, fellas, I think that brings us to the end of the preview, right? The season preview and the Arsenal preview. In your closing thoughts, fellas, I guess where your predicted starting lineup and where your predicted score is, right? So, Kerwin Prudhomme, I don't know. I hope I'm butchering your name there, buddy. He's saying, I believe we will beat Arsenal 3-2 tomorrow. All right? Any kind of win I take him, buddy. Any kind of win.
I say 3-1.
3-1?
Boy, there's a social media derby, boy. So I taking any score line, my guy. That was for 3 points, boy.
Yeah.
Any score line. Wherever you look. Crystal, whatever you say, I say it as well, too. Good.
Once is a win, right?
Once is a win, my guy.
Yeah, so let me get some closing thoughts, fellas. Your predicted starting lineup, and well, if you're like Phil probably already gave us his predicted score. Go through.
I think the attack picks itself, right? The midfield is where I confuse about because I don't know if he's going to play Bruno deep with Casemiro or Bruno and Luka. I really don't know. I can't pick that, but I think the defense and the attack pick itself.
If we start Bruno and Casemiro tomorrow, we are done, my guy. Sorry.
No, I don't know who he's going to pick in midfield. I don't know who he's going to pick in that midfield, but I know the attack. Sesko had a start because Zirkzee now come up. They said Zirkzee only training like a week. He only touched grass like a week and something.
If don't start, then it may be
Mount.
It may be Mount on the left, Cunha up top.
But we can do that too.
But question, Ali will start Sesko tomorrow?
Sesko not starting.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When we beat Arsenal, the last time we beat Arsenal, when we had men like Sancho and Anthony. When Anthony's going to debut, Anthony's going to debut against Arsenal. So I mean, Anthony didn't have a preseason with us. So I mean, will it be a risk to start Sesko tomorrow? Sure. And from what I've been told or what I've been hearing is that a lot of people in the coaching staff are quite impressed with his like training regime and his like attitude towards training, right? So
yeah, they say he's the last one to leave and then.
Yeah. I would bring on Sesko.
He was training before.
Yeah.
He was?
He was training.
Yeah, he was.
He was with the squad.
I mean, we could predict our starting lineups, but I got a feeling it could be Mount, Cunha up top, and Mbeumo on the right, and then unfortunately Bruno and Casemiro in the midfield. But I still think we got to find some way to play Kobe Mainoo. I think so.
I don't know. I just find Cunha on top. We just lose Cunha. Cunha just get lost in that.
I don't want to say Cunha has no centre forward.
Neither do I, but
For me, it's
Yeah.
either for me, I be honest with you, it's either, and I mean, I guess both players are is a big risk. But it's either we go with Xerxes or Sesko, you know, just for the balance of the team.
Yeah.
If we know Xerxes fully fit, give Xerxes 45 and then get Sesko the next 45 or vice versa.
No, but I really want to see Xerxes play with them fellas, because Xerxes had a real touch on thing, boy.
So,
Next thing he come, if he come there and Sesko again, no game and thing, come and show up. No, because he can play that kind of football, that football and thing. And
them
Xerxes
kind of-
strong, eh? Xerxes
them
strong.
kind of
he's real
fellas, them new signings will play well with Xerxes.
Yeah, I agree.
So nobody I give Rasmus anyhow. Go ahead,
Boy,
man.
yeah,
You
don't do that.
Listen, come on.
Nah, I
Chef,
think
you're wasting your time.
close.
Wait.
No, but
Man, or
he also
Rasmus.
close to going AC Milan, so they
Yeah.
wouldn't
Who
risk
talking about
him
Rasmus?
getting-
Nobody talking about Rasmus. You come and talk your Rasmus talk. Why you talk about Man United players now, boy?
Jeez, man. Harsh.
Damn.
No, you calling me harsh? All you hear the manager say, the manager had a striker on the bench. And he said he don't have a striker, you know. All you telling me I harsh. Jed. Rian on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. It's saying good luck tomorrow.
Yeah,
right,
man.
and good luck for the upcoming season. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. So, fellas, I think we have come to the end of the season preview. We will touch on some other season preview stuff, tomorrow, right? But we will be here again tomorrow, right? After all that heavy talk, we talk about Arsenal and Gyökeres. We just hope them don't bust net, right? we get embarrassed tomorrow. They say we'll look too good, But I'm hoping for a positive result tomorrow. Performance, just no loss, right? But our good performance, and we run Arsenal. I want them fellas play well. I want to see we new signings settle, And I mean, I can't remember who had mentioned it in terms of the midfielders who we have. Listen, prove me wrong. Step up. I'm taking that. Right? Prove me wrong. I'm taking that. Step up.
Because all your whole season last year saying it's time to get rid of all the prove me
Nah,
wrong.
You got to show up, man. You got to show.
Yeah.
It's asking a lot, but I don't see anybody else but Ugarte back there. I don't see Casemiro. I mean, shit. Ugarte have to play.
On paper, Arsenal side is one of the best in the league, and them have Rice and Odegaard, and they come against Zubamendi. They have Moreno. And the defense is one of the best in the league too.
Yeah.
And the gas striker, I'm telling you, the gas striker now.
Nogard.
Yeah, Nogard. Yeah, they had the fanning now.
No, but we have one thing we have now. We have played. We mightn't have the best overall pedigree, but we have players. We have players now. We have Heaven mightn't start, but we have Heaven. We have Euro who could run with them. Man. We have people who can run with them for us now.
Yeah.
The only place we don't have that is midfield.
No,
Ugarte is the best option there, but besides, that's the only place I worry about.
See what Simeon saying there? We have the potential right now to be a very good team. Real talk.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, while it's not my ideal, I still sometimes lean on history. Arsenal, even under Wenger, were playing some of the better football against Fergie Man United teams. I remember one of the games we went into, and they couldn't be three. I remember the team he played Rafael, the little Silva twins in midfield, and Arsenal still couldn't be three. You understand? Yeah. So I mean, Fergie knew how to win, and I guess in at least for this game, win.
Win at all costs.
Yeah, man. So
nice.
yeah.
See that
win.
See that what we said there? That's what this team had to do. Learn to win.
Yeah. Anyway, So guys, Chef, Simeon, Kristen, JP, Phil, and those in the comments as well. This was a good one. Thanks for all the likes, the shares, the comments, the panel. Thanks again for coming on. We will be here again tomorrow to review, this game against Arsenal, the match of the day, the big one for the match week. And we hope that we could raise the curtain in style. So see you all again tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. Blessings.
Later.
Right.